I was born here in Caye Caulker, right here on this island.
Okay.
Actually, right here on this property. At the current moment, there's 88 cats with the baby that just came in a couple of, like a month or so ago. Actually, I fished the cats out of the water. I discovered that people were throwing them in the water to drown. And so I fished them out 13 years ago, a little bag of little kittens, and some of them had already died. And I saved the others, and I figured I would find them homes. It never happened, and they just kept coming. So to date, we have the 88 cats. Well, the government puts poison in the environment. They feed the dogs poisoned meat. If they find the cats as well too, and so they do that once a year to control animal population. That's their idea. And the animals have like a horrific death, and after that, they just pick them up and throw them in the garbage. Yeah, so the birds sometimes would eat it, and the cats eat it as well.
Alright.
I basically put this together myself 13 years ago, and we never have the funding to. So many cats that keeps coming, and the food that you have to feed them, and they get ill, you have to take them to the doctor. So I was never able to reconstruct, something new. So it's always patching up the holes and stuff like that. But it's unpatchable now, I believe. Repair, build a new carry for the animals. The carry is basically from this side of the street all the way to the waters. And I would just elevate this, and so they could have little places to run and hide, make it nicer for them, and put new roofing. But each roofing material costs like $81 per roofing, so it would be quite a lot to, money to get that fixed. I spay the cats that come in at 2 months of age, so they're all fixed here. We just fixed the last little guy that came in. So at 2 months of age, I would have to take them to the city, and that becomes expensive as well. To cost like $200 to get a female done, and a male $180. Yeah, so that's costing us a lot of money too. I had to get a loan from the bank to try to do it, but it needs to get done. At the time that the cats on this area came in, I didn't have a place to put them or the money to finish these rooms that I was planning to rent out. So I just put the cats in that room. But I feel that I would want to have them outside where, they could see the birds and more ventilation. So finally, I said, it's time to get it done. So I just had to borrow the money from the bank, and we're going to remove these cats from the inside places here, the catteries, and those are 2 catteries that are going up. Yeah, well, the hostel part of it was, my idea came about with, it being so expensive to take care of the animals and all that. And I inherited the property from my dad. And I said, well, I can't live in all the house. The house was a big house. This was our home. All our brothers and sisters lived here when they were little, and they all moved out. So after dad passed away, it was just my mom and I. And I thought to myself, perhaps maybe people would like to come and stay, in a nice, beautiful place close to the water, and the money just goes back into the work that I do with the cats. So basically, the hostel is just for that idea. The money from the hostel just funds the animal welfare part of the business, yeah. So we also have a spay and neuter program that we do throughout Belize. We invite vets to come and stay here, and in exchange we give them a free place to stay, and the money goes from the hostel goes into buying anesthesia, and we fix dogs and cats, so this way there's less cats that can't get homes, less cats suffering. And so I would be getting less cats, which I can't take care of all the cats even if I wanted to. So we do that for people that don't have the income and cannot take the cats to a vet and so forth, or either the homeless animals. We do trap, neuter, and return, it's called, where you would set traps in the environment with food, and the animals would go in to eat it. They would get trapped in there. We would bring them, and the vets would get them fixed, and then we replace them again after. I would say that the money that comes in is sufficient to feed the cats now. Before the hostel, I was saying to myself every day, oh my God, where am I going to get the money to feed the cats? So the money that's coming now, at least the cats could eat. I could always buy the food, but you never have enough to build any kind of new structure like this, like I was saying. Or like if any other expenses come up, like the cats gets ill, take them to the vet, a surgery, this and that. But for the food, during busy season, which is a few months, 3-4 months per year, we do have the money coming in, and at least we could get the food for the animals. After the busy season, we have like 6 months or more of no one coming here. Then the problems start. Where am I going to get the money for the food? So it's a matter of trying to. It's nice when you get the busy season and try to like save a couple of pennies on the side for food during the 6-7 months that we have no one coming here. We have a what's called a volunteer vacation program that I created a few years ago, where if we have like a long term and a short term vacation, volunteer vacation program. So if somebody could come here for a couple of weeks, and we would ask them to give us a couple of hours a day to help with the cats or with whatever they want to help with at the hostel or in the yard or with the dogs, and we would reduce the fee for staying here. For people that want to stay longer, for a month, 2 months or more, we have them stay here for free. We give them a bed to stay for free in exchange for their help 3 to 4 hours per day. On the island, not that I know of. I mean, most of the cats, the lifespan of a cat here on the island would be something around 6 months, because people, apart from the government putting poison to kill the dogs and sometimes the cats as well, people don't like cats on this island at all. So, they wouldn't adopt the cats, and they wouldn't take the cats in to feed them. So they would poison the cats, either throw the cats away in the water, the kittens, if they could find them, poison them. Some people throw hot water on them, you name it. Yeah, so it's really not a place where people welcome cats. So I guess I'm one of the only places that would do work with cats here on the island. But as much as you want to, how many cats could you take care of? It's like it's very expensive. Oh my God, I don't even want to think about it. They would die. They would die. Nobody would want them. I mean, and they're already used to people's attention and love and affection. Sometimes I think about that a lot. It keeps me awake at night, really. I thought that if anything would happen to me, what would happen to the cats? Because nobody would take care of them. They probably would just open up the door and they would just run off on the street, and people, looking for love and attention, and people don't understand that, so they would probably just die from starvation or from people poisoning them or whatever. Yeah, so yeah, we have snorkel tours that we do, and we different tours. We have snorkeling the Holchan Marine Reserve, and part of the money, my brother is the one who takes people out, and part of the money would go towards the cats. So they would take them to the Holchan Marine Reserve for a half day or a full day tour. We do fishing trips as well. We also do tours to the Blue Hole, and tours by airplane if people just want to fly over the Blue Hole. Several things of that nature, and then a portion of that just goes back to the animals as well.
Okay.
22 beds. We have 22 beds, yeah.
Okay.
So part of it is we have a couple, three now that are private, and the others are dorm beds. A 10-bed dorm, a 6-bed dorm, a 4-bed dorm beds, yeah.
Okay.
Here's in the 10-bed dorm, we have a little common area, and we have a nice big kitchen. We have the kayaks that we give out to the customers to use for free as well. Lots of hammocks in the yard, the dock to hang out, watch a sunset. They could swim from the dock as well. We have bicycles, although the bicycle is not for free, but it's like really, we just got those, and that money will go towards as well funding the cats, their food and stuff like that as well. And although it's not for free, the bikes, because they're so expensive in Belize, each bike costs us like 500 Belize dollars, so that's a lot of money for Belize. So we would charge like $5 an hour for rentals. And if they want it for the day, we reduce the fare. It's like $10, $15 a day if they wanted to rent it for the day. Heading towards opening up, it's always been one of my dreams. I always love art. So we're working on a little project that's going to be called Cans for Cats. And so that little, I'm just recycling all the cans that I used up the cat food. So kind of a lessening my carbon footprint, like they say, and then that's just going to go into making art. We had a volunteer here that's already working on it, and we're going to continue doing that, and then hopefully that's going to help us out with the continuing to feeding the animals with that money for a slow season when there's no tourists renting the place. Although the animals are senior cats, this is like a hospice for cats now, because they're all over 10 years old. They're all up for adoption if people want them. People want to give them a home. So of course most people don't want to adopt them because they have medical issues and it's going to cost them money, but they're here for that reason. But if people like them and they want to take them home, there's always up for adoption. So all the cats are they're separated. We separate the cats by 12, no more than 14 cats per room, and this just reduces the stress of the cats. And then some of the cats, they don't get along with our cats, they fight, so we have to try to a whole process happens before a cat is put in a certain, before we decide which room we will put the cat in. We have to like try them in one room to see if they would get along with all the cats, and then if they don't get along, we try them in another room until we find a place to put them. So the more cats are come in, the more complex it gets, because what do you do with them, where do you put them? Okay, so also people could help us by visiting our website, either our Facebook pages as well. Either come stay with us. I mean, every penny counts. The money goes from the accommodations back to the animals as well. Or either while they're on the island, they could book a tour with us, visit us, and they could bring food for the animals and toys for the animals. So there's so many ways that you could help. So we appreciate anything anyone wants to do. And don't forget to come visit us on the beautiful island of Caye Caulker. And don't forget pause.